Hey, welcome back to Flossmas. I'm Jade, I'm the 310 Stitcher, and welcome. Today is day 19. Yes, day 19. Just had to look at my tablet over here. Welcome back. So I actually made it back today. Wasn't sure I would. I've been, you're getting me here with no makeup or anything, and wearing a t-shirt, but I'm wearing my pajama bottoms. I've been not feeling very well, still really tired, still migraine, and not able to concentrate. So today was a bit of a struggle with work, but regardless, we are here. So I did get a little bit of stitching done. So I have some stitching, I have some knitting, and I also have a little bit of haul to show you, and also just a couple of clarifications on my plans. So let's go with the knitting first. So I have here my mitered square blanket, which is not huge, but it is growing. It's growing every day. And I think yesterday we counted, right? And I think I was four behind, and then plus today would make 5. Well, I'm caught up, including today. And I've actually cast on for tomorrow. I'm not going to finish knitting it until tomorrow, but I actually did cast on. So let me show you what I have. Okay, now these ones you will have seen. All of those you saw. This one here is the one for today. And I'll talk about this in a sec because, well, okay, let me show you the other squares first, then I'll talk about it because it's kind of goes together. So that was those ones, and then let me turn this 180 degrees. And then these 3 you had seen before as well. I had started a new row. And then these ones, these 3 you had seen before. So I put all the ones that I'm doing this Advent, I'm just putting the stitch markers on them so that I know that those are the ones I did. And then I did that one, and I did that one, and I think there's more. Is that all of them? So that's 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, and then tomorrow's is cast on. Okay, perfect. So I have the 19. Now, let me just go back to this one here. So this square here, this square here, and the one I've just cast on are all from the same yarn, which is this one here, which, and I actually still have them here. So the last pair of socks that I finished was this pair here. So they had started at the purple to a lighter purple, green, kind of a reddish, yellow, orange, kind of a cherry red, to this raspberry color to a light purple, dark purple, and then back we start again. So it goes from there to there. From there to there is one repeat. So the first square I did, and actually this yarn, for the blanket, it's going the other way, right? Because when I finished the yarn, so I knit these from here down to the cuff, and then I just kept rolling it. So I'm actually going backwards the other way. So we started with the purple. The first square that I showed you was the different shades of purple. The next square was this very light purple leading into this color here, and then this was the next square, right, ending with the yellow, and the next square will go into the green, which is what you are seeing right there. So we're just getting the very dregs of this this line right here, that pink, and then it's going to go into the green. So out of one ball of yarn, I got 4 squares, which is pretty awesome. So that maximizes pretty well. And then this one will go, the rest of this, well, some of it at least will go into my other blanket. So yeah, so I should count at some point how many squares I have in this thing, but I think it's looking great. It is looking fantastic. Okay, so that's that blanket. Let me put this over here. I literally just finished that one, so I've not put any of the past like 6 yarns into here. And actually one of the yarns I put in, which was the black, like the charcoal gray, there actually was no more left. I actually used all of it in here, and then I had to also, there's this one here, I almost got to the end, and then I had to put in a different yarn to finish it off. So that's one less that will go into the other blanket, but that's okay. So I'm not going to pick another yarn right now because I've told you I've already cast on. I've already cast on for tomorrow's, and that is just using the same yarn. So it's going to go into the green, which I don't have in here yet. So, all right, so that's that one. So let me put that there. Now, stitching wise, bear with me for just a sec. So this is, again, Dragons of the Sabbat. So again, my goal is to get the blue dragon finished. If I remember, I'll put in a picture, but oh, the end popped off. Anyways, let me just show you. So that is what the whole thing's going to look like. So this is a pattern from charted by Pain Free Crafts. It is artwork by Anne Stokes, and my goal for this year is to get this blue dragon completed. And I won't take him out right now out of the Q-snap, but I have basically from here all the way up completed, and all that's left is the very tip of this wing. Yeah, it's just the very tip of this wing and this part of the tail from his knee, that's over here, down and over. And so I've been putting in a lot of work into this. As you'll know if you've been watching these videos. So today I put in 1,151 stitches. And what I did, So if you remember yesterday, I had a whole bunch of hanging threads. And so what I did today was just put in all the threads. So not these ones, because these go into the next dragon, or outside of the blue dragon, and those ones too. So I wasn't focused on doing those. I was just focused on getting rid of all the threads that were here. Now there were some actually that there were a few that were hanging that actually were outside of this, but I hadn't. I guess I parked them after I did this, and so I just wanted to get rid of them. So I also did those. So I did do a little bit in down here, which is way outside of the dragon. There you can see the tail where that goes. So I don't know how much is left. I want to say under 2,000 stitches. I'm hoping. I really want to get this done before the end of the year, ideally before Christmas. I think I'll get there. I know tomorrow's Saturday. I don't think I'm going to get any stitching done tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow evening, very late, but I have curling bonspiel tomorrow, so I'm going to be curling from I have one game at 10, which means we're out of here at 9 a.m. and then I have another game at 3, which means, and then there's dinner and prizes and all that stuff. So I think I'll be home quite late. So I don't think that I'll get any stitching done tomorrow. I may bring some knitting with me though, because I did cast on another pair of socks. So in between my first game and my second game, I may, if I end up staying at the club, I may just bring my knitting and knit there. If I decide to come home in between, it means I would get I would be home for about an hour and a half. I could do a little bit of stitching then, but I don't think so. I think I'll just stay there. Anyway, okay. It will get done before the end of the year for sure. Whether it gets done before Christmas, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, so that is the stitching that I have and the knitting. And I have a couple of things. I want to just so yesterday I told you, if you watched my video yesterday, I told you about the games, about my plans for 2026. I didn't tell you all of the plans for 2026, and so I just wanted to clarify that a little bit. And I also was thinking last night, oh my god, I was so exhausted, so I'm really sorry that video was just all over the place. But what I did was, well, I did exactly what I said. Was basically after the video was done, I just sat in my bed and knit. So I knit a couple squares last night. Yeah, I think I only got 2 squares in, and I couldn't read at the same time because Smoke decided he wanted to lay on me. And then after 2 squares, I quit, and I did pull out the book, the Harry Potter book, the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone. I thought I had it. Yeah, I do have it here. And so I read I read 3 chapters. 3 chapters of this. And I had with me as I was reading, and kind of had my other book on my notebook on top of Smoke. And I basically was reading and writing in conjunct at the same time, right? So as I was reading, and we got to different places, so here's chapter 1, and I wrote down all the places that they went. So that includes the car, so 4 Privet Drive, the car, Dursley's office, back to the car, back to Privet Drive, into the living room, into the bedroom, and back to the front porch of the building. And then chapter 2, we get to the cupboard under the stairs, the hallway, the kitchen, the car, the zoo, the restaurant, the reptile house, privet drive, and then back to the cupboard under the stairs. Chapter 3, the kitchen, the hallway, the kitchen, the hallway, the cupboard under the stairs, the hallway, the small bedroom, the kitchen, the hallway, the small bedroom, the stairs, the hallway, the kitchen, the hallway, the kitchen, the hallway, the car, and the hotel. Was that everything? I think that was it. Nope. And then back to the car, back to the boat, then the island, right, or the rock, and the cabin is where they end up, that ramshackle cabin. So wrote all those down. And then today, what I did, and then I went to sleep. And then today what I did was I went and looked, I cross-referenced against all of the locations that I had written and all the whips that I had assigned to them all. Actually, I did two things. So first of all, cross-reference. So I had the locations and I made sure all the whips were completed. And then I went through and I assigned hit points to each of the whips, which is one of the things that you have to do in Milestone Manor. How I did that, how I applied the hit points was based on, so Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, the Milestone Manor is her game. So what she does is she applies hit points based on how many years old the project is. And what I did, because most of my projects are not that old, right? I think my oldest one is 2022 or 2023. So what I did was I applied the hit points based on the size of the project. So if it was under 20,000 stitches, I applied a hit point stat of 5. If it was between 20 and 50, 6. And so on and so forth until we get to our million plus project, which is my Catching Rays, and that has the most at 14. Yep. So I applied the hit points. And then and then the other thing I did, so I wrote down next to each of the locations from my reading of the book, I wrote down what the whip was. And then these all have to change because I told you yesterday the only D&D dice that I have is a D20. Oops, sorry for the shaking. The only one I have is a D20. And so what I gave myself two options basically. Is the first option was to roll my D20. If the number was less than 10, then I would multiply it by 100 to get to my stitch count. If the number was over 10, so between 10 and 20, then I would multiply it by 50. And so that was the first, so that's what these numbers all are. And there's a lot of stitches. I think the most is 1,000. Yeah, the most is 1,000 and the smallest is 100. But then the second option was to use the original rules from Jessie Marie. And bear with me for 1 second. So with Jessie Marie's rules, you have more than just the D20. You have multiple dice. And my daughter is going to make me some. But in the meantime, she just loaned me one of her sets. So these are really pretty, actually. They're they have koi fish in them. So I think this is the D4. I don't know if you can see it in there, but they have koi fish in them. So now that I have now that I have a full set, oh yeah, I do have the 1010s. I was wondering about that. So now that I have a full set, I'm going to go back to this list, and I'm going to figure out what the stitch counts are by doing what Jessie Marie said to do, which you roll a d12 and the d20, add those two up together, and then you multiply that number by your roll of the d10 tens dice. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to see what we get. I've written these all in pencil so I can easily erase them, but I'll write those all down. So that is all. And then I guess the only other thing I did was in my notebook, I went through, so I love having paper. I love being able to write things down. I love being able to look things up super quickly in my notebook, because I generally know exactly where it is. So it's actually faster for me to look something up in my notebook than it is to look it up on my computer or my tablet. So basically what I did was I went through Jessie Marie's rules, the how to play, and actually I just summarized all of the rules for myself. So that's that. And so part of the reason I'm bringing this up is because I wanted to just talk about my full plans for 2026. So I this year, so 2025, I had about 6 or 7 focus projects, and including the Haid Sal. And I was basically focusing on getting a certain percentage complete, or a certain number of stitches complete in each of those focus projects. Dragons of the Sabbat was one of them. It doesn't have a stitch count because I don't know how many stitches are in each dragon. I will know roughly, I had a rough idea, but I'll have a better idea, I think, once I finish the blue dragon. Then I can subtract out how many stitches I've done so far from the number of stitches of black, which I do know I have a count for the black, and that will give me an approximate number. Now I have done a few extra stitches here and there, but it's okay. It's not like thousands. Anyway, so I had those, and I'm getting a little bit bored. I'll be honest. Number one, I am not a monogamous stitcher by any stretch of the imagination, and I'm kind of on dragons right now. I'm kind of hitting the wall with it. I have been hyper focused. There's the ADHD coming out, right? I've been super hyper focused because the deadline is coming up, and I really, really, really want to get that dragon done. But nobody's gonna die if it doesn't get done, right? Like it's just all pressure I put on myself. But and I can't see myself picking up dragons again for a little while after I get this blue one done. I think I'm gonna need a break, because I think I've worked on it almost every day this entire month, which is just crazy to me. So what I decided to do is my plans for 2026. I will be playing Milestone Manor. I will be doing my alphabet game, and I will be working on my focus projects. But I'm not going to, although I have written down in my book And I think from Notion, I think I've told you, if you've watched me before, then you'll know that I use Notion. I put in the deadline of when ideally I'd like to complete the project, and it tells me how many stitches I need to do per week. So I did that. So I looked at that today, and I did write down how many stitches per week I would need to do on those focus projects. So for example, so this is them here. So we have Sunset in Venice. I have to do about 950 stitches a day. I'm sorry, not a day, a week. I'm fine with that. I love Sunset in Venice, and I'm not getting tired of it. So that's absolutely fine. Dragons of the Sabbat, I would need to do 1,275 stitches a week. That is probably not going to happen. I'll be honest. It's probably not going to happen. If I get 750 stitches a week in, I'll be happy. Like this is on average, right? Over the year, because I know that there will be weeks when I won't even touch it. Home Sweet Home, to get it finished on the date that I want to get it finished, I'd have to do 750 stitches a week. That, again, that's doable. That's really only a few threads if I get into a bulk stitching area. Veil of Death, 1,250 stitches a week. Again, not sure I will make it. If I get close to 1,000, I'd be happy with that. Colosseum, to get it finished when I have, by my proposed finish date, I'd have to do 500 stitches a week. That's okay. I could get that done in a few hours. Pompeian Lady, same thing, 500. And that one's pretty easy and quick to get 500 in, because a lot of it is bulk stitching. So there isn't, like, the confetti is not crazy. So I can get that done in like 2 hours. So 2 hours a week I can do. The other one I added on here was a year at Hawkrun Hollow, and I put 200 there, but really the only thing I really want to do, I don't have a specific goal. The only thing I want to do with a year at Hawkrun Hollow is just pick it up and work on it. And each month I want to work on that month's block. Have I finished the borders yet for all of the blocks? No, I have not. But that's okay. So those are kind of the focus projects. Now, if I totaled all of these up, it adds up to just over 5,400 stitches. So 5,425 stitches a week. I looked, Notion tells me how many stitches I've done year to date this year. And I have averaged about 6,500, just over 6,500 stitches a week on average for the past 50 weeks. So that would mean that if I did get all of these done, then I would have about 1,000 stitches remaining that could go into the stitching for either the Harry Potter stitching challenge with Catching Rays, or with the Hogwarts game, my version of the Milestone Manor. So that's not too bad. And I don't think I'm going to do all of these, like I said. So I think I will have, probably closer to the 2,000 stitches a week that could go into Milestone Manor. So that's what my goal is going to be, is to put some stitches into my focus projects, but not to stress out about it. If I don't get to those, I'm okay. I think I need a year where I'm just not stressing. I want to pick them up and keep them moving, but I'm not going to stress about specific numbers, because that can always change in the future, right? So we'll see. And I do get into these periods where I just hyperfixate on something, and instead of doing 1,000, I may do 4,000 in a week, or I may not pick up a project for 2 months, which I did this year with Home Sweet Home. Once I get past that crazy confetti area, it may change, but I don't know. We'll see. So I think this is going to be a reasonable thing for me to do. I have with the Harry Potter, like I said, I've only read three chapters, but I have a whole lot. I didn't add all these up, but it's a lot. It's like many, many, many thousands of stitches. So I'm just going to go down the list one at a time and check them off, and before I go to the next project. Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do. And the Catching Rays with the Harry Potter Stitching Challenge. Catching Rays is one of the projects in my Hogwarts game, and actually it is coming up. It comes up several times because for my Hogwarts game, I put Catching Rays as the whip for all the hallways. So, and just in this first 3 chapters, it comes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times. With at least, the minimum is 400 stitches and the highest is 800 stitches. So that will get quite a bit. And so this is going to be kind of going alongside the Harry Potter Stitching Challenge, right? I'm not going to do separate. I'm not going to keep those 2 separate. It's just that one whip gets whatever it is, and I will keep track on the Harry Potter Stitching Challenge. So I think this is what I'm going to do. For the Hogwarts game, just last thing. So Jessie Marie has some worksheets that you can use, and they've got basically their character sheets, right? So you write your for each level. She gives you a whole bunch of like teardrops for the HP, and then I think they're hexagons that you can color in for the XP. I'm just going to keep track in my notebook still, so that way everything is all together. I don't have to go look for pages because I will lose them. So I will just color in the teardrops, and I'll just fill in more, you know, as I level up, I'll just add more rows for each level. I think that's going to be the easiest way for me to do it. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it, and to be honest, I'm still I really want to get to it. I'm really excited for it, for this game, and I really, really, really want to start it now. But I'm going to be good for now. Anyways, I don't know. I can't promise that I'll be good till the end of the year, but I'm going to do my darndest to try to get Dragons of the Sabbat finished. If I finish that early, then I still don't think I'm going to start it, because there were a couple of other projects that I ideally would have liked to finish before the end of the year. One of which was Chronicles of Narnia, and the other one was Funky Chickens. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll you know what? I'm done with putting pressure on myself for the stitching. This is supposed to be fun, and you know, it is what it is. I am goal motivated, so I have to have goals to shoot for. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna be able to. I'm just not gonna do anything. So that's what my plans are. So just put some stitching into those focus projects. Do the Hogwarts game alongside the Harry Potter Stitching Challenge and my reading of the books, and that's it. Just have fun. Just have fun. Yeah, so those are my plans for 2026. if you are interested in playing along, I would love to hear, I'd love to hear what your plans are as well for 2026. Yeah, so the only other thing I did get today, I got a little bit of haul. One sec. I was looking for my water, but apparently I didn't bring it. Okay. So I got a little bit of haul that I want to show you. And this is a package. This is a package I got from Painting Fairy Cross Stitch over in China. It's a beautiful box. Everything comes really well. So I've had questions about, you know, have I had any negative experiences, or have I had any trouble with ordering from them? And I really haven't. My only beef with the only beef with anything I've ordered from them is the quality of their instructions for setting up the stand. The instructions absolutely sucked. But other than that, everything I've ordered has been great. I haven't had any complaints whatsoever. Things have been pretty decent quality. So I just want to show you a couple things I got. Number one, I got a Q-snap. So this is 25 by 25. I think that's supposed to be 10 inches, but I don't, are these 10 inches? I have gotten there, and you saw the one that I had my Dragons of the Sabbat in. That's the 10 by 16. I think it says 10 by 15 on their website. But I measured it 10 by 16. Super, super tight tension. Very tight tension. No complaints there whatsoever. I wanted to order another one. I don't like taking stuff in and out of the Q-snaps all the time, so that's why I keep buying Q-snaps. But anyway, so I ordered a smaller one. That's the other thing with these is, and I did notice that this with the other ones, they're very, I'm not strong enough. I have to actually put this on the floor and then push down. It's slowly. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not going to do that right now. Yeah. I'm not going to do that right now. They're very hard. It is hard to put together. Once it's assembled, it's fine. But it's, yeah, it's a little challenging for my weak hands to put together. So I think I'm going to just get my husband to do that later. I think they were like $4, so super cheap. Yeah, and once it's put together, they're absolutely fine. So that was one thing. I also ordered some more of these things. I think they're called bobbies, or maybe that's one of the brand names, for parked threads, since I am likely to have parked threads on Dragons of the Sabbat if I continue to stitch the way I am with doing like a dragon at a time. So I ordered some more of those. So I got a dozen of those. And I also did get some, I think I ordered like 10. Yeah, it's a pack of 10, but then they also give you 3 every time you order anything from them. I've always gotten a package with extras. So I got 3. The other thing they sent over is another package of needles. I think those are size 28. I'll have to double check them. I literally just got this today, so I haven't tried them. And they sent me also a pair of scissors, which who doesn't need extra scissors? Super sharp. They come with a little point protector. And then more of those things, which the only thing I use those for is when I need to grip, when I need something grippy for the needles. Okay, so that came free. I ordered another kit. So I used to love Disney when I was a kid. My kids loved Disney and Mickey Mouse, and they had, I don't have any Christmas kits yet. Oh, I think actually I ordered a really small kit from them that has Christmas cats on it. I have to find that. But anyway, they have a Mickey Mouse reindeer, I guess. So I got that. So that has everything. It's got the fabric. It's got all the threads in there. It has the pattern as well. So this is actually a little booklet that actually comes with the pattern. So if you do spill something on here, then it's really easy to, you can refer to the pattern. This is an 18 count. I won't take it out because I've talked about this before, but the symbols are very, very clear. It's hard to tell there, but the symbols are very clear. And also the thing I like is the margins. They give you some really good margins on this as compared to other places. So, is this licensed? No. Very unlikely, right? Given that it's Disney. I know that Painting Fairy has both licensed art and unlicensed art. I generally, what I do is I do a reverse search on the images and see, what I actually check where the stuff comes from. I know I should care about the Disney stuff too, but I didn't so much just because, I don't know. I didn't so much. So I have this. It is not licensed. We'll stop talking there. Okay. Then I also ordered some more fabric. I got 14 count Aida. Really pretty. It's beautiful. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that just yet. But again, very inexpensive. I ordered some more needles. And so I ordered some John James, size 26. And I also ordered 2 packs of the Sullivan's ball tip needles, which are much less expensive than they are on Amazon, at least for Canadians. So I got a couple more of those. And then the other thing I got from them was these finger bandages. So they come in a few rolls. I found it very cool. So so it's just those ones that actually, oops. They stick to themselves. And the reason I ordered these is because when I use an actual Band-Aid or a, when I use an actual Band-Aid, I find it hard to stitch or knit. And when I'm actually knitting So with my blankets, I'm knitting with these bamboo needles, which really hurt my fingers like a lot. And I know it's the way that the particular way that I knit. I'm always like against the same spot every stitch. That hurts after a while. I put this on and today to try it out. So anyways, I wanted to try it, put this on to try it out, and it worked. It worked awesome. Before this, I was using, or until now, I was using, what's it called? This is waterproof tape for blisters. That's what it is. So it's kind of a thick, I don't know, it's a thick, it's not fabric, it's kind of like plasticky. And that works too. But again, it's that big, thick thing on your fingers, which makes it a little bit hard to be nimble, I guess. So I'm gonna give these a try again. They were very inexpensive, so I thought I would give it a try. It might actually help quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to using these more as I'm knitting. So now I'm putting this in with my yarn there. And that is it. That's it. I've been talking for a long time. So let me know what your plans are for 2026, if you have any, and let me know, what you've been knitting on. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're happy, healthy, safe, and enjoying some of what the season has to offer. I hope that whatever you celebrate, that you have a lot of fun and good quality time with your family. If there's nothing special for you to celebrate during this month, that's okay too. Celebrate a happy weekend. Just enjoy the time with family and friends, because it does go quickly. And as always, be kind. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.